Okay, so when we talk about quantities in physics or in any science, we've got to be able to compare amounts and lengths and masses and things like that, right? So how do we go about doing that? If I want to compare two diamonds, I want to know which is more valuable. What do I need to know? Probably lots of things, but let's assume that they're similar quality diamonds. Which one's going to be, and they're cut the same, which one's probably more valuable? The bigger one. So by bigger, you mean the one with the larger volume, maybe, but probably the easiest thing to calculate would just be mass, right? Okay, so we got to be able to compare these things in a way that's going to make sense. We have to have common units, of course. And so we have units, different units for different sizes. I mean, obviously measuring the mass of a grain of sand is quite different than measuring the mass of a planet. But the base units upon which all these units are built are going to be the same. When we talk about standard units or SI units, and I think SI is French, System International or something like that. Standard units, oftentimes called SI units, we'll call them MKS units because the base units of all the types of units, at least that we're going to use, are meters, kilograms, and seconds. And everything that we'll build in here will be constructed, at least for a long time, it's going to be constructed from those three base units. There are others that we can use. Oh, just did something bad. There we go. So here are some other base quantities. Typically, you'll see about 7 of them. And you notice that we've got the base quantity length, meters, mass, kilograms, times, seconds. Beyond that, there's some other topics we'll get to later, like electricity and magnetism. The base quantity for electric current is the amp, or the ampere. Temperature is the Kelvin. You probably talked about that in chemistry, I'm assuming, right? You guys talked about the Kelvin scale? Okay. Real quick, off the subject, but a degree Kelvin and a degree Celsius, are they the same size?
Yes.
Okay, they are the same size, except different starting places, right? Okay. Luminous intensity, so we're talking about like the brightness of a light source. It would be a candela. Amount of a substance, you talked about that also, I'm assuming in chemistry is a mole, okay? So from those base units, we can derive lots of units. We can do lots of things. I mean, we can calculate areas and square meters, we can do volumes, we can talk about speeds or velocities, we'll start to talk about those soon. And our unit for velocity or speed, our standard unit is going to be a meter per second. But those are all built upon the base units. Beyond that, we'll talk about things like, is that us?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We need like 3 periods of physics so we can really get into it. All right. See you tomorrow.